New card. What do you think?
Whoa, very nice. Look at that.
Picked them up from the printers yesterday.
It's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. Look at this.
That is really nice.
Eggshell with Romalian type. What do you think?
Nice.
Raised lettering. Pale nimbus. White.
Impressive. Very nice.
Mm.
Let's see Paul Allen's card. Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God. It even has a watermark.
Something wrong, Patrick?
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. When that was said, I didn't know how true it actually was. This has been joked about many a time, but I think it's time we finally have the conversation. Is Kanye really talented enough to overlook all of the nonsense he's put us through over the last 10 years? How many times can we say he made graduation before it doesn't hit the same? Now, you may or may not know, but if you don't, I'll let you know right now. I'm truly a separate the art from the artist type of guy. For the most part, as long as the music doesn't directly translate into crimes that, I'm disgusted by or I would never commit myself, I really don't be caring. If I can listen to the music and not think about what you are or what you do, we're just fine. But how much of somebody's character can you really excuse until it starts to become irresponsible? When it starts to bleed into the art, when every reference, every interview, every conversation, every action is a cry out for attention in the most inane ways. It's actually kind of saddening to watch one of your favorite producers or artists fall into a situation like this. But at the end of the day, we're all people. Why do we give Kanye so many passes? Does he deserve so many passes? And what does this mean for LeBron's legacy? Let's talk about it. Kanye is a self-proclaimed and critically acclaimed genius. Kanye made Graduation, but Kanye also made swastika hoodies and sweatpants and a whole bunch of other Third Reich merch. At every chance he gets, he decides to say the most outrageous thing possible and then promote whatever he wants.
I spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth.
Why does Kanye get a pass? Because he's losing his mind. And I think we can all see that and give him more grace than we would the regular person.
Gotcha.
Maybe a little bit of it comes from the fact that he's created so many great memories, but I think a lot of it comes from people being able to see and understand this man is not all the way mentally there.
Ooh.
It's kind of like when you see a toddler throwing a tantrum in a restaurant or in a store, or you see a baby crying on an airplane. You have a right to get mad, but you don't blame the baby. This is a grown-ass man, but he's kind of a child mentally at this point. It started all the way back with George Bush doesn't care about black people. We didn't know then. Maybe I didn't know. Maybe I was just tripping. But he's always been this guy. Whether it's loss, whether it's drugs, whether it's, relationship issues, whether it's stress, whether it's anxiety, whether it's just hubris. He's slowly devolved more and more into an amplified version of this guy.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
If you can communicate this product, you can make money off the product. Because look at Gaga. She's the creative director of Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
From that point, you can clearly see the negative attention was his fuel to just get his shit off. The more outrageous he was as a person, the more we loved him. The more he's like, yeah, he's a person that just speaks his mind. He doesn't let anybody control what he says.
Can you believe that? Can you believe we don't have a jacuzzi?
Then we get to, you don't know the answer, Sway.
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
You can clearly see a man who is fighting for whatever he believes in and stands on what he thinks is the right way to go about things. Independent, he wants to do the things that he wants to do, and he doesn't want anybody to be a blocker, to be a gatekeeper, to be somebody that tells him no. which has been very useful for him in the past. If you watched his Genius documentary, you can see that everybody that told him no, he found a way to go around it. At least business-wise, you know, I don't want to start no allegations or nothing. But in the studio, somebody tells him no, he plays the song anyway. In the record label, I don't have a meeting for you, it's okay, I'll make my own meeting. He tries to make his own opportunities. Very audacious type of person. And it served him well. Millions of records sold later, billions of dollars made later, millions of clothes sold, millions of shoes sold. You can't say that all this hasn't culminated into a very successful career. The issue is, there's no stop button. When it works, you keep going, right? Because it works. It hasn't failed before, why would I stop now? And whether it's bipolar depression, whether it's some other form of mental illness, whether it's none of that and just a very, very challenged young man, or I guess old man at this point. But whatever it is, his new obsession is the people that he's decided are currently blocking him now. Before it was the Medici family, before it was, you know, Jay in the record label, before it was Sway, before it was all this other shit, before it was George Bush, before it was Taylor Swift. Now it is, I don't even know if I want to say the J word before YouTube just demonetizes me. Yeah, but it's them. And oh, has he gone way harder than anybody thought he would. But it didn't just stop there. A whole host of behaviors. Porn addiction, flip-flopping on Jesus. Like, come on, bro. All them Christian songs, all them Sunday services. And you spin back to this? And you would think by now the masses would be done with him. But no, he just sold out 72,000 seats in China. He's still alive and well. The constant cycle of general acceptance, saying something crazy on the internet, drop some music, stay quiet for a little bit, and then back to general acceptance. There's no real cancellation, it looks like, for Kanye. But we don't easily forget, the name is tarnished in a way that I don't think it can ever be brought back, unless he goes on an apology tour. But past the things he said about people he doesn't know, or, you know, entire ethnic groups, or even the ethnic group that he's a part of.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
The things he said about past collaborators, alive friends, dead friends, children, it's turned even the most diehard fans away from both Kanye and the music. In my mind, Kanye retired after he dropped Donda in 21. All the music after that is just tarnished to me by all the antics. I can't even get into it. But that does not mean I'm not gonna spin Coldest Winter or Gorgeous, Hold My Liquor. Yeah, you can't take those songs away from me, gang. I'm sorry. But is Graduation good enough to justify all the things he said and done? Or College Dropout? Or My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? Is any one of his albums or the collection of his albums good enough to overlook? I just know the new music isn't. Like, if you're a new Kanye fan, there's something wrong with you. If you became a Kanye fan from music from 2022 to 2025, you are definitely on an FBI watch list. Somebody should check for you. All in all, Kanye's legacy is definitely changed forever, and not for the better. But also, very surprisingly, not for that much worse. Like, for all that he's done, he could be in a way worse position socially in the hearts of many people. But in my mind, he's not in a insurmountable hole. I just don't think he cares enough to dig himself out. But the same can be said for a lot of our greats. At one point, I thought Drake was untouchable. At one point, I thought Jay-Z was untouchable. There's a lot of nicks in the armor. It seems like the longer you stay relevant in the culture, the more you're seen, the more you vie for attention and activity, the more likely you are to fall from grace. I might talk about that in another video. What do you think? Is Kanye completely out of chances? Or does he hold a special place in your heart? And if he does, should he still? We love Kanye the producer. We love Kanye the artist. We love Kanye the designer. Ye, on the other hand, I'm not a big fan. I don't know if anybody really should be, but that's not up to me. That's enough what I think. What do you think?